Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. I greet you all with the greeting of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and the blessing of Almighty Allah be with you all. I'd like to welcome you all for continuation of our series concerning question and answer by Sheikh Muhammad Nasiruddin Al-Albani rahmatullah alayh. And today, inshallah, we have tape number 3, Fatawa Rabil. And this is going to be question number 10. Question concerning when the tasweeb, which is the saying of the mu'adhin, as-salatu khayrun min al-nawm, prayer is better than sleep. Is it in the first adhan or in the second adhan of the dawn, fajr? And the Shaykh rahmatullahi alayhi answer by saying, indeed, we had spoke about this issue before many times in writing and lecturing, and in many countries which I had visited. Nevertheless, that maybe we have to remind the people again with two hadith, which did not contradict by any other hadith, and which support the issue here, and anybody will be different from it, will be different with the Sharia, and we can consider him to be committing a bid'ah. It's been authenticated from hadith in the collection of Ibn Khuzaymah and Sunan al-Nasa'i and Imam Ahmad in his Musnad, and other books of the Sunnah, that the Prophet ﷺ had taught Abu Mahdhura al-Adhan, the calling for the prayer, which is the one that is known today with saying takbir 4 times. And he taught him two things, which is distinguished from the others. Number one, that the Prophet ﷺ taught him to make a tarjih, repetition in the adhan concerning the two shahada. So when the mu'adhin reached to statement of ashhadu an la ilaha illallah and ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, he will say it secretly in the beginning, and only enough for him to hear it. Then he will say it loudly. That means after he say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, with loud voice, now he will say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. And then he will start to say the shahada again out loud, which this takes some of the time between the takbir and saying the shahada again. And those who are not aware about this issue, they will say, what happened to the mu'adhin? What's wrong with him? Why he's taking so long? In reality, he was not quiet. He was saying the shahadatain secretly. So when he finished, he will repeat it again loudly. As a result of this, it's been called tarjih, mean repetition. And he will raise his voice after this by saying Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah to the end. And this is the special about the hadith of Abu Mahdhura, which is the Prophet ﷺ had taught him the adhan, is distinguished itself from the other narration of the adhan. The second benefit or lesson, that the Prophet ﷺ, when he finished teaching him the adhan completely, he said to him, when فإذا أذنت الأذان الأول في الفجر فقل بعد حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح الصلاة خير من النوم. الصلاة خير من النوم. Which is the meaning is, when you finish the adhan for Fajr, the first adhan for Fajr, so say after Hayya ala Salah, Hayya ala Falah, As-salatu khayrun min al-nawm, As-salatu khayrun min al-nawm, prayer better than sleep, prayer better than sleep. Then finish the adhan. And here, the point that we want make it clear here, that the Prophet told him, إذا أذنت الأذان الأول, if you proclaim the first adhan of Fajr. This another benefit in the hadith of Abu Mahdura, which is supported also with narration from Sunan al-Bayhaqi al-Kubra, from hadith Abdullah ibn Umar ibn al-Khattab, when he's saying, كان في الأذان الأول الصلاة لصلاة الفجر على عهد النبي في عهد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الصلاة خير من النوم. The hadith which in the Sunan of al-Bayhaqi al-Kubra, that Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma, he said, he used to be in the first adhan for Fajr during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as-salatu khayrun min al-nawm, prayer better than sleep, prayer better than sleep. Nevertheless, later on, that this sunnah been dead and been switched and became in many countries no people calling the first adhan, period. So adhan al-fajr became similar to any other adhan in the other prayer. While in other country they make two adhan, but they make a long period of time between the first adhan and the second adhan, and of course this is different from the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It had came and narrated in the collection of Imam al-Bukhari rahmatullah alayhi, when he mentioned about hadith Bilal, he said, لا يغرنكم أذان Bilal, don't be deceived by the adhan of Bilal. He said, after this he can eat and drink until he hears the adhan of Ibn Maktoum. And between them was a short period, enough for a person to come down and the other person to go and take his place. That means that adhan will come down from the roof, and after this Abdullah will go, and after this Bilal will come down, and after this Abdullah ibn Maktoum will go up to call the second adhan. The teaching of the Prophet ﷺ and the tradition that two different mu'adhin, this is very important issue that we need to focus in it, and we be missing if we make different from the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. As-salah khayrun min al-nawm, prayer is better than sleep. This is obvious that this was a wake up for those who are sleeping to get up, and this could not be any place other in the first adhan. That because the first adhan is the adhan for Bilal. Why he's calling the adhan before the time for Fajr? So the sleeping people will get up, and the people who want to get suhoor, they will eat suhoor. Now, the people had taught this phrase to the second adhan, while people are awake. Nobody is sleeping by this time. unless is a lazy person or neglectful person or a sick person. This is the benefit here. The second issue here, that the first mu'adhin different from the second mu'adhin. So you have to distinguish between the two voices. If a person who is sleeping did not hear as-salatu khayrun min al-nawm in the first adhan, by hearing the voice he will distinguish between the two adhan. So this was the sunnah, that the first mu'adhin will be different from the second mu'adhin, same way that was in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This is the story behind increase or adding the statement that was as-salatu khayru min al-nawm. But now the people change the sunnah. The sunnah is to say as-salatu khayru min al-nawm in the first adhan, so the sleeping person to wake up. But now the people change it, and this is bid'ah. They making this in the second adhan, while people already are awake. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.